Welcome to Intellectual Radio, popping off with Cheryl, Sistrunk. Can't nobody love you like I do. Oh my God, that is my jam. Listen, you guys, thank you guys for waiting so patiently for me. You know the traffic was so bad coming from the High Park area all the way to Westchester, Illinois. Baby, I almost turned around, but you know what? I am such a great sport. I went piece by piece through the traffic, didn't get all on top of anybody, and I could not turn around. Hello, Burbank. Hey, Monique. I could not turn around because I most certainly had to say happy birthday. Well, technically, it's not his birthday, but it's his 1 year anniversary of him being dead, Mr. Ahmaud Arbery. And I had to make sure that I come into intellectual radio and pop off and tell everybody about this young man and how great of a young man Ahmaud Arbery was. And I would be remiss to come out the house and do not do a tribute to this young man that has lost his life because of racism, because of bigotry, because of ignorance. But you know, before we get to our Black King, I want to first start popping off by giving out happy birthdays. March 1st, 1990, a king was born. My son, Brandon Blanton. Happy birthday, Brandon. His birthday is Monday, so I want to make sure that I tell my son happy 31st birthday. Then March 3rd, 1993, the queen of hip hop and R&B, Miss Catchings, my daughter, Andrea Catchings, is going to turn 28 years old. So we're throwing a small little game night, you guys. And then there's two more people that has topped the Pisces world. First, we're going to say happy birthday to Malik Harris, Malik J. Harris. This is Brandon's best friend. He drowned on 4th of July a few years, 7, 8 years ago. So March 4th was his birthday, or is his birthday. And my daughter, luckily, gave birth to a child on March the 4th and named him Tamir Malik. So happy birthday to my second grandbaby. So we want to always continue to keep Malik J. Harris legacy alive through my children. Happy birthday, Malik. Happy birthday, Tamir. Happy birthday, Andrea. And happy birthday to my son, Brandon. And I just want to tell everyone to keep Malik's mom and dad lifted in prayer. Trudy Camille, I don't know if Trudy even watches my show, but I loved her son. A lot of parents don't understand, or maybe not even know, that when their children are growing up with other people's children, that they love the other parents just as they love their mom and their dad. Because me and his mom didn't have a real close relationship. I would pick her son up and she'd drop my son off or whatever. So we never knew each other personally until the tragic accident. And her son loved it, my children. Oh my God. So that is my seventh son, because I have six. So yes. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone know, just to keep the family lifted in prayer, the Harris family, definitely. But let's go to the top of the evening and talk about the misjustice, the bigotry, the murder. I would almost say the assassination of Ahmaud Arbery. And I love Facebook, but I've been watching Instagram, and they did a 1 year anniversary visual for Ahmaud Arbery, and his mother, Miss Wanda. I mean, she shook me up so bad. She was in the crowd of people hollering, my baby, and was hollering. And I say, Lord, pass that bitter cup from me, because no mother that has not lost a child will not understand that here their child was going outside to run, and he stopped in this house that was vacant. And I think that is where he goes in to drink water out the fountain or whatever they said. And when he came back out, he had already been tailed and had been watched for a period of time by these three young men here, these low down, dirty dogs. So let me read what Sean King wrote. I want you to understand how unprecedented an image like this is. And I want you to understand how it happened. The justice system in America was not built to give black people justice. It was built to oppress black people. It was built as a tool of white power. And these three young men thought they were getting away because they knew the DA, they knew the judge, they knew all of the big wigs. But baby, when I tell you black people stand together for justice, they won't get away with this murder here. And so when three white supremacists murdered Ahmaud Arbery, the local justice system, which was to protect and serve those three white men, had no intention on providing any type of justice for Ahmaud's family. Not none. Ahmaud's mother told Sean King that she was literally forced to see them three men all over town. They were at the grocery store shopping like they had did nothing wrong. When it comes to injustice, I have an obsessive personality. My mind is like a lion that gets a hold of its prey. I won't let it go. I talk about this in my book, and as Sean King has a book, I become so focused that is unhealthy. It's rooted in trauma from my own childhood of being beaten and harassed for years by bigoted white boys and men where I grew up. It changed me for good and for bad. And so when Ahmaud's mother got on the phone and told me what happened to her baby boy, just in case everyone that's tuning in, this is the 1 year anniversary of the murder, the assassination of Ahmaud Arbery, the jogger that was jogging. Okay. The next day, I told Ahmaud's story to the world across social media. And in 48 hours, my staff, Grassroots Law, built a website for us to use to get justice for Ahmaud's family. In 72 hours, they set it up a hotline. By the time Ahmaud's name and story, it was the number one news story in America. And Sean King and Lee Merritt, they made that happen. It didn't just happen. Sean King and Lee Merritt made it happen. They built it, and they spent over $500,000 to staff to promote this. Now, after the next 2 months, they worked around the clock, literally hardly ever sleeping, until they made sure that the three men that killed Ahmaud Arbery was arrested. These are the three young men again, the father and son, and the young man there. The young man at the end is the one that was doing all the recording, right? I can't even say out loud all we had to do to make sure it happened. We had to have backroom meetings with Republicans from the White House to the governor of Georgia, to the attorney general of Georgia, and more. Every single person we needed to do right by Ahmaud was a Republican. So it required us to approach the whole case differently. One day I'll write the story. One day he said he will write the whole story. Just know that when you organize, you can win. And definitely, this is what America needs to do. We need to do some grassroots organizing and definitely keep up with everything that is going on. Those men are there because of Sean King and because of Lee Merritt, the attorney Lee Merritt. And the importance of this today, you guys, is a lot of times we think everything is cute. And I don't want you guys to ever think that I'm talking negative to you about your children. But while our children are trying to be athletes and be basketball stars and football stars, These young Caucasian children, these young Caucasian KKK, these young Caucasian Ku Klux Klan and all over the world, they are becoming the judges. They are becoming the politicians. They are becoming the police. They are becoming the parole officers. They are becoming the state's attorney. So this is why when I say to y'all little kids on there popping and doing at the Bug Billiken parades and at the TikToks and at these basketball games, we want to empower our children to be able to make a change and not be afraid to stand up for things that are right and to talk and speak up when they see things that are wrong. You know, at my job, they say, when you see something, say something. So definitely they're saying something about the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. And because it has made international news all over the world, these young men would have got away, but they are going to be prosecuted for all the wrong that they have done. But not only them, Ahmaud Arbery was killed on February the 23rd, 2020. Ahmaud's mom is having a problem with a person using Ahmaud's Arbery name for money. They are called 223. They named their company after Ahmaud's Arbery's death, right? So now Sean King and Lee Merritt are going after them because they have raised on the 23rd, they raised 200 and I think 60 or $270,000 in young man's name. They have not given the mother the money. They're claiming that they're raising the money for awareness or whatever, but they're trying to be slick and run off with the pot of gold. So only thing that I say about when that's the only thing bad about when you try to publicize it and try to put it out where everybody would know how mean, how nasty, how these white supremacists and these bigots get away with murder time and time again. We have people, and I'm not sure if the young man is a black man. I pray he's not a black man. But if he is, Lee Merritt and Sean King is going after him for every dime that he has raised in Ahmaud Arbery's name. I mean, and you know, I'm not really shocked because death definitely brings out all of the crooks. If you want to see your family or somebody act a fool, let somebody die. They fighting over the TVs. They want the clothes. They want the shoes. They stealing all of your perfume and your jackets and your clothes out the house. So death definitely does bring the nastiness of people. But his mom is very angry, and she does not want her son's death to be exploited, or used by strangers to make money because she doesn't know them. You know, she doesn't know these people, but baby, they are making a field day off of her son's name, off of his death, off of his murder, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And my only thing to them is may they bust hell wide open. May they bust hell wide open. So definitely we want to keep Ahmaud Arbery mom, his dad, entire extended family lifted in prayer. We definitely want Sean King and we want Lee Merritt, the attorney Lee Merritt, to be successful and victorious in this fight to get all of this money back that these young men or young women or whoever they are behind 223 is raising for Ahmaud Arbery. And his mother told them to cease and desist, and they continue on with it. So that shows you that they some low down dirty dogs, okay? But you guys, as I said, on the 23rd it marked 1 year since Ahmaud was murdered. No one should be slain because they were running while being black, okay? Nobody. So you guys, we're going to continue on. A lot of people are saying, oh, Black history is almost over. It's over for you guys. It is not over for Intellectual Radio. Popping off with Cheryl Sistrunk. Every week, you guys are going to learn something new, you know, and I got some more new cards, y'all. The Tuskegee Airmen takes to the sky one more time for his 100th birthday. This young man here is retired Colonel Charles E. McGee, is one of the last remaining members of the very iconic group of men, the Tuskegee Airmen. Last year, he co-piloted a state-of-the-art private business jet on his 100th birthday. He recently turned 101 and received a top Hoover's honor for exemplifying courage, perseverance, and service. Mr. Charles E. McGee fought two wars simultaneously during World War II, one against fascism in Europe and another against racism in the United States. So we tip our hat to 101-year-old Tuskegee Airman Charles E. McGee. All right, young man. Then you guys, if you're old enough to have enjoyed this toy, oh my God, then it is time you meet the inventor. Charles Harris is a black man, and he invented the Viewmaster. Who remember the Viewmaster? Oh my God, I loved it, the Viewmaster. All right, you guys. So every week, Intellectual Radio, popping off with Miss Cheryl Sistrunk, is going to bring you up to speed at why our black is beautiful. Okay? Now, here's why they called him the Black Moses. I know everybody is watching Judas and the Black Messiah, but there is a guy that they called the Black Moses way back when, and his name is Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey built factories where he made black dolls for black children to play with. He built a hotel. He built a chain of grocery stores. His organization had their own trucking company. He built schools. He built restaurants. His organization had their own printing press. He started 3 newspapers. His main newspaper was called the Negro World. And that newspaper was also published in Spanish and in French. His organization bought 5 ships, and they started practicing international trade and commerce. And this is the Black Moses of our people, Marcus Garvey. All right, you guys. You guys have to stay in tune, because I'm going to make sure that you guys know why our black is so beautiful, why we are so exceptional, why we're so powerful, why we are the BLACK, baby. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of George Stenny Jr. He was the youngest person to be executed, sentenced to death in the 20th century. This polar baby in the United States. He was only 14 years old, you guys, when he was executed in an electric chair. During his trial, even on the day of his execution, he always carried a Bible in his hands, have mercy, claiming he was innocent. He was accused of killing 2 white girls aged 11 and 7. Their bodies were found near the house where he lived. His trial was only 2 hours, and the dictation only took 10 minutes, which consisted of an all-white jury. Have mercy, Lord. His parents were threatened and prevented from being present in the courtroom, and were even expelled from the city. Before the execution, he spent 81 days in prison and was not allowed any visitors. He was held in solitary confinement 80 miles from his home, and attended his hearing without a lawyer or his parents. He was executed with 5,380 watts of electricity to his head. 70 years later, his innocence was finally proven by a judge in South Carolina. It was found that someone set him up solely for being black. May his innocent soul rest in peace. Have mercy, Jesus. So definitely, we have been crucified. We have been lynched. We have been killed. We have been, so many things have been done falsely to African Americans all over the United States of America. And we definitely want to bring everything to their remembrance and let them know that we remember. And it took 70 years for them to prove this young man to be innocent. And I know that he looks down, because I know for certain he's in Abraham's bosom, and he's calling on the Lord, ask the Lord to forgive the people that did him wrong, because I mean, this is the thing that you had to face in the Jim Crow laws and the different things that they have done to our people. But we still are seeking justice for the wrong that they're continually doing. Even the family of Emmett Till, I heard Sean King them talking about that they want to bring back up the young lady, the Caucasian white woman that lied on Emmett Till and had him lynched and killed. Maybe Till Mobley is dead and gone, but I know there's some aunts or somebody that can stand up and to speak up definitely for justice. Now, if pulling down a statue of a slave trader ruins your way of life, you are either a racist or a pigeon. Because the only way that you would want a statue of a slave trader standing up means you either a pigeon or you are a racist. So, you guys, another thing, what this is to the Jews is what this is to Black America. I've showed this Confederate flag and the swastikas before, but we want everybody to understand the different things that we are facing in the United States of America. Okay, I want you guys to meet Mr. Lewis Hayden. Okay, he was the mainstream behind the rescue of Sadrach Mitchens. To this day, you can go to the Hayden House in Boston. It was a key location on the Underground Railroad. Lewis actually escaped slavery himself in my home state of Kentucky. One of the most fearless men in American history, should be a household name, and his name is Lewis Hayden. So, every week, you guys, you're going to learn something new. Hey, Kenny, Monique. Now, I want you guys to understand that faith is like Wi-Fi. It is invisible, but it has the power to connect you to what you need. So we have to definitely keep faith and keep praying, because the deck is always stacked against us. But I tell you, when God is on your side and when you have the right people representing you, you don't have anything to be afraid of. Listen, rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountaintops will never. Okay? So rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountaintops will never teach you guys. And I pulled a few things out. I want you guys, I know you guys brush your teeth every day. Well, we're hoping you're brushing your teeth every day. Okay. And I know some of you people go get your coffee, you get your Folgers coffee and your bounce, you put it on your clothes. And I remember Safeguard soap. That was like one of the most popular soaps with Ivory. But guess who invented all of that? Dr. Hubert Smitherman. This is the young man that invented Crest soap. He invented Bounce fabric sheets, Folgers coffee. He invented Safeguard soap. They were all created by a Black man. And physical organic chemistry, was a pioneering executive and a professional chemist. He was a chemist, you guys. So definitely we want to keep enlightening you guys on all of the Black facts. Now, the first Black female pilot, her name is Miss Millie Bailey, and she marks 100 years old. So we definitely want to tell the first Black pilot, the first Black woman pilot, Miss Millie Bailey. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, you guys, before I get to white news, I want to let everyone know that I need you guys to make sure you're taking your vitamin D, your vitamin C, your zinc, and your zeaxanthin. These are vitamins that will keep the coronavirus away. Landry Reeves sent me this. Vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, and zercertin. These are definitely um, 4 vitamins that lower the risk of severe cases of COVID-19. And I got it off Fox News, you guys. Okay. So definitely we want to do that. All right. So we're going to skip further along and definitely talk about all of this white news that is out. And it is amazing that when you think about white, I think of whales when I think of white. And I remember the black whale is orca. They called the black whale, um, oh, my thing stopped, but I'll keep going. They called the black whale the killer. And they called the white one the great white. And I don't know why the white one is the great white whale, and that's the killer. That's Jaws. And Orca was the nice, humble little meek whale, but they called the black one the killer, which is amazing. So, you guys, we definitely want to continue on with everything. Let me start this broadcast over one more time because I don't know why it cut off. I don't know what's up with the iPhone, but let's go directly into the white news because they can catch it on YouTube. Intellectual Radio, popping off with Cheryl Sistrunk. Maybe my phone is too full, but New York City bans the sale and the display of the Confederate flag. So everybody that is living in New York is banning the sale and the display of the Confederate flag. Now, what does that mean? It prohibits the state of New York from selling or displaying symbols of hate or any similar image or intangible personal property inscribed in such an image unless the image appears in the book. So New York will no longer sell or permit anyone to display the Confederate flag. I think that is a move in the right direction. Okay. Now in white news, DCFS, this is breaking news, you guys. DCFS says the report of abuse against Father Michael Flager is unfounded. Now, hopefully the young man can go back to his church because DCFS has found out that the report of abuse against Father Michael Flanagan is unfounded. So hopefully they let him go back to his parish and he can go forward with that. And in white news again, are we supposed to be silent when the Democrats do wrong? They have another Democrat that there is allegation that he done did something wrong to another lady, and his name is Governor Andrew Cuomo. Okay, so yesterday, a beloved leader in New York came forward to say that she was sexually assaulted and harassed by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. How you say it, Cuomo? Cuomo, yes. She provided detailed receipts, text messages, and emails, and gave names, dates, and locations, and by and large, prominent Democrats were completely silent. I mean, nothing. And here's what I know. If the exact same person wrote the exact same story with the exact same evidence, but Kumar's name was substituted with Donald Trump, Democrats would be outraged. And this is simply not okay. So the North Star Media has reported this, that Andrew Cuomo has a sexual allegation on against him, you guys. So we're going to see what are they going to do about all of these allegations. Now, we're learning that remote learning is not working for our children. And the reason why I would say that is because my son, which is a 10-year-old, his name is Remus, he really does not understand remote learning to me, even though the teachers are there, the assignments and looking up all of this and getting on all of these different websites to complete this work. And what I think Chicago should do, and this is for Lori Lightfoot and Janice Johnson and everyone, My grandchildren go to school in DeKalb County. DeKalb County buys little dollar baskets and they put all of the children's work for that week in the basket and they set them outside. They designate a time for the parents to pick up the baskets. The parents pick up the baskets and their children do their work assignments and turn them in to the teachers through the basket, which is a great idea. The same way how the library collects books, that is the same way that these schools can collect these assignments, and our children won't be getting all these different incompletes. Hello, Logie. So, DeKalb County, I just want to know, listen, whoever is running the school board of DeKalb County, they are far greater, wiser than Cook County. I'm sorry to tell you, Lori. I'm sorry to tell you, Janice. Y'all don't know what you're doing, but y'all need to go ride 77 miles and find out what DeKalb County is doing that Chicago is not doing, because our children are behind. Hey, Tracy, and it is all because you lovely ladies are trying to find out who's the head nigga in charge, and y'all arguing over this position and this money, and it doesn't mean anything. And we know for certain that Lori Lightfoot does not have our children in her best interest, because look at the things she has done. She has given all of the money, nearly all of the money, to the Chicago police, and there's no murders being solved or anything. But what I'm noticing, and I'm as I'm trickling down through the years, it seems as if they're being paid. I think they get, like, it's a quota. There's a quota when they write so many amount of tickets. I think there's a quota when people are murdered or people are killed, and how many people you can catch with a gun, how many people you can shoot in the back. I think they have a quota that they got a little board that they tallying it up and being paid for it. So I don't know. We have money for war, but we can't feed the poor. I don't know if you guys watch the news. Joe Biden, he can't send out a stimulus check. First they say they was giving us $2,000. Now they claim they're going to give us $1,400, but the law hasn't been passed. There are people that are very less fortunate, that are homeless, that are hungry. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay any of their bills. But baby, we got money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. And that line comes directly from Tupac Shakur. When Tupac said this line 20, 30 years ago, people thought it was funny. But no. Joe Biden and the government, they sent out several 500 pounds of bomb on different targets throughout Syria. Now, I don't know why we're bombing Syria, what Syria has done to us. But baby, they can catch the looters, but they can't catch the shooters. They got money for war, but they can't feed the poor. I mean, they know you can't pay your rent. They don't care. And I'm glad that I didn't vote for this young man, because that's y'all president. The same as Donald Trump is y'all president. This man is not my president. I don't care nothing about the stimulus, because I get up and go to work every day regardless of anything. I do what I have to do so I can do what I need to do. And that is just to uplift all of you ladies that are looking, that continue to settle for nothing. And I'm sorry to tell y'all on Intellectual Radio, popping off with Cheryl Sistrunk, you don't get to waste my time no more. I don't know what the women are telling y'all. But this is a teachable moment for all of the lovely women that is looking on. And, I learned that there was 365 days in a year, right? And when I learned that, I've noticed how we go into these long-term relationships. We spend, I did 8 years over there. I did a 12-year over here. I did a 3-year over there and a 1 year over there. And at the end of the day, we look back on it and I don't regret it, But I know, you know what, I could have went about it a different way, and because of the things that I experienced in my younger life as a young mother, as a woman growing up, you don't get to waste no more of my time. I'm sorry. God bless your ministry. God bless it. So there is 365 days in a year, right? Let me get this total for y'all right quick. So you only get 182 days, 183 days to hold my attention. After 6 months and after your 182 days are over, and there's no engagement ring, there's no proposal, there's no nothing, I'm sorry, baby. Have a good year. Because all that is over for sure. Sistrunk, I only give you 182 days. I don't know who love you, but I pray your mama do, because I don't love you. And I don't mean nothing bad for you, but I ain't got nothing to give you. After 182 days, I'm going on about my way. Okay? So, you lovely ladies, I know that everybody wants you to settle for less. Whose feelings are more better than yours? No one's. Whose heart is more better than yours? Nobody. So I want you guys to understand, if they don't mean you no good, let them go along their way, because life is short. We're learning this every day by people that are leaving this earth. And I want guys to understand that nobody can love you like you love yourself. Nobody. And we're seeing every day. Today there was a hostage situation going on, I think at 75th and Constance, when I was coming to work. Martin G. Johnson was covering that. Then another one, it was another standoff and another hostage situation where these men are holding you against your will because of whatever. But if you don't tarry along in them unfortunate, disastrous relationship for 5 and 10 years and eight years, when y'all know you ain't going nowhere, you see you ain't got a job, you ain't got no money, y'all ain't got, oh no. Mm-mm. You can do bad by yourself. You can struggle by yourself. You don't need to have somebody with you struggling along, okay? And if he can't buy you a pop, you ain't got no business with him, no way. So I want to just enlighten you, young ladies, and I want to feed your brain and let you know that, listen, the wages of sin is death. The gift of God is eternal life. But I want you guys to live more abundantly. I don't want you guys to be held against your will because you got 2 kids by him and you want to hold on because it may work. Baby, please, he can take them kids with him. You know, give them kids to their daddies and let them raise them. I want to get outside too. So I'm sorry. If y'all looking at me, I only have 182 days for you. And if after that 183rd day, there's no engagement ring, there's no nothing, there will be no more calls. There will be no more texts. There will be no more following on Facebook. I'm going to stop the following, all of that. So y'all be wise, baby, because they're holding you hostage now. They're kicking in your front doors now. They mad because their life ain't together. But you ain't going to hold me against my will because I know how to get on up out the jam, okay? Once I made parole out that 12-year relationship, I wasn't going back to be a fool, okay? So I done made parole, so I'm sorry, young man. I'm free, and I ain't going back to parole because they told me I was free. So I don't have to go see a parole officer, okay? So I just want to enlighten everyone to let you guys know that, listen, I want each and every one of you guys to thank the Lord for his grace, for his mercy, for his forgiveness, for his protection, for his guidance. Thank you for your friendship, Lord. Thank you for your peace, your unfailing love, and definitely for being my savior. So you guys, I pray that you guys can go to YouTube because this iPhone was doing what it want to do. This is the way that iPhone makes you buy another iPhone, okay? And I ain't going to give them a dime. I'm going to get in here and erase some of these pictures and definitely make sure that I enlighten you guys every week of different black entrepreneurs, different black people that were wrongfully murdered, different black people that can have each and every one of us smile like the viewfinder. Okay? So just remember that I want to speak life over each and every one of you tonight that is tuning in to Popping Off with Cheryl Sistrunk. Remember, go to YouTube to see the whole broadcast because my iPhone was doing what it wanted to do, okay? Every person that is listening, I want you to know and I want you guys to understand you don't got to settle for less. You ain't got to be second choice, okay? It doesn't matter where you are or where you currently find yourself or even where you've been, okay? It's not over until God says it's over. There is no limit when God is in it. So remember that your terrible job is the dream of the unemployed. Your house is the dream of the homeless. Your smile is the dream of the depressed. And your health is the dream of the ill. Don't let difficult times make you forget your blessing. Listen, you guys, I just want my last closing statement is to definitely keep Ahmaud Arbery mom, Miss Wanda, lifted in prayer as she cope with and deal with the trials and the tribulation that comes with her son's murder. But you guys, just stay blessed and stay out the way. See you guys next week. Love you guys.